Hey folks, hope you're and welcome to yet another comment of the episode video. Thank you all so very much for the support on the last few. If you're still enjoying these, please be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to fWhiptwo if you're brand new. And over here in the last main channel video, we built this. One of my favorite builds I've made in a very, very long time, with our greenhouses attached to what is the stained glass factory. And oh my gosh, I'm in love. I'm absolutely in love. And then I did have a little oopsie of looking at it from this angle, but we're just gonna leave that there. We're just gonna leave it. And if you know, you know. Question 1 from Keyshawn Rasmussen. Hi fWhip, how do you choose your build themes for each video? Do you draw your blueprints before you build in game, or do you just wing it? On build themes for each video, I actually tend to do a few blueprints beforehand and all that stuff. Like this one here, I really wanted to make it special, so I planned out a big majority of the build before I actually got in here, started making things. But a lot of that comes down to my episode plan. What do I actually want to do in the video? I don't really just log in and say, yeah, I'm just gonna play Minecraft and see what I decide to build today. Like right now through these episodes we're working on, it's eventually working up to transforming my end dimension around the main island. So for that, I kind of set out 3 steps that I need for myself. 1, I need a lot, and I mean a lot, of stained glass. 2, well, I guess as a sub part of that one, I need a way to produce the stained glass, hence this factory over there. So what might be coming up in the next video is the way to obtain all of that sand and glass in order to, you know, run this factory and be able to supply this thing over here. So those are kind of in there together. And then the next one after that is going to be actually transforming the end. And I have an idea of kind of turning into this big old glass nebula, like a cosmic storm of sorts happening underneath the tree and really attaching into the environment around it. So we've got a lot of stuff to do, and we're kind of working towards this big goal. So what does it take to get to that goal? That kind of determines what the topic of the video is, and then factory vibes and all that stuff going for the blueprints and everything there. But now the theme for each build, I kind of set that based off of the region of the world I am in, because I want all these things here next to each other to look like they belong together. So this is very much in that overgrown, medieval, really lush environment, a little light fantasy element to it with your Minecrafty bits thrown in here and there so that we can have our beacons as lamps and things like that. We can have our glow signs just to get those extra pops of color, which might not be fully realistic medieval, but Minecraft medieval, I think it works out pretty well. So when I'm looking at a build theme for the world, I really kind of first pick on what part of the world do I actually want to work in right now, because little spoiler right here, the next episode that we work on where we're getting all of that glass and everything together, that sounds like a great reason to jump over to New Papyrus, which over there we're working in more of a desert, almost Egyptian style, something that is more classic Minecraft desert build style with an extra just like flair added on top of it. So then we're going to be changing the build style, because I think personally it makes more sense to be working over in that region of the world instead of here where we have the lush green grasses. Like putting a massive sandstone build here with like a flat top roof would be a little out of place. I mean, you're going to go with a slight curve to it and make it like Mediterranean, I guess. And that could work if you had some brick in there too. But, you know, I try and keep my build themes to their certain locations and everything. And so over here, it very much sticks in the medieval as I kind of designate different parts of my world to what I'm actually interested in. And then when I'm really starting a new space, it really determines what am I interested in building in right now. Is the project that's going to be something a larger scale? If it's a larger scale, I'm actually going to be interested in this build style for a few months, because the larger projects for me tend to last, well, this one's still ongoing and this world's almost 3 years old. So you can see that larger projects, they last a long time. So it has to be something that I can keep finding new ideas for, keep exploring the style, and also just generally be interested in wanting to actually make those new things. Also, as a little added, I didn't show it in the video, but we did this on a stream recently. We came through here and textured and built out all of these rocks to mess up this hillside. And this view right in here, I love it. It's so nice, especially if we like fly all the way. Ooh, we could put another rock there and one right in there. That could work. All right, I'll keep that in mind for the next stream. But this view, like right here with the sun setting over there, oh, it's so good. Question 2 from Capitan Dicio. How can you improve your, quote, YouTube voice to not sound flat and boring, which also can apply outside of YouTube? I've talked about this YouTube voice thing a few times off and on streams and everything like that. And I think the basis of it is really kind of like overemphasizing what you're saying because it's only your voice here. There's no facial expressions to it. So that can help a lot, just really overemphasizing, and it's going to feel really weird at first. And then it's going to grow into something that's a little bit more normal as you practice and keep going with it. And you'll find your rhythm, really having a good rhythm, knowing when to use pauses and all of that sort of stuff can actually really help enhance what you're saying. There's a lot of people who comment on videos saying, wow, if you just talked louder and faster and sounded more entertaining and like had better music, you'd be getting twice as many views. I saw that as a comment exactly on the last video, and I was like, maybe not. This whole like super speed theme on YouTube that was actually around for a little while ago, like everybody's calling it like Mr. Beastifying your videos. That trend is very much over because now people have realized, no, you can be artistic about it. You can use audio and just vocals as a way of not even just singing, but using pauses and how you talk and how you deliver a message can be something that is extremely entertaining. And there's probably some people that you know in life, some family members or some friends that you're just like, you know what, I could listen to them ramble on and on for hours every single day and I would be fine. I would be okay with listening to all of that. So that is kind of use how those people in your life or those people on the internet talk as a way to kind of move forward. And also don't be afraid to try out some new things yourself. One thing that I actually found a bunch was back when I was in college. This was actually before my YouTube days. So I didn't really take this class too seriously, but I took a public speaking course where we had to every single week get in front of the class and give a speech on something, whatever it might be. And your topic changed, your category changed every single week, and there's different things that we were focusing on it. I hated the class at the time, but it's one of those where looking back, because obviously I didn't major in YouTube. I wish that was a major, that would have been pretty cool, but it doesn't really exist. So that for me actually has turned into one of the classes that I'm really happy that I ended up trying to get better at it, because I was like, I'm going to suck at this no matter what, and I hate doing it, so I might as well try while I'm taking this class and see if I can get better. And then it turned into something where now I look back on all of the different courses I took in college, and there were some that were really, really helpful. Like I have a degree in computer science, and all those things help as far as like the server management here for SMPs. But I think the class that actually helped me the most was that public speaking course of just being comfortable chatting in front of people. And the professors and the TAs that we had in that course were willing to talk with you about how your dialect was being received. And if your voice sounded flat and boring, they were willing to give tips. So if you do have the ability to take a public speaking course at like a local community college or something like that, or even online ones, that can be something that can actually really help. I know a lot of YouTubers, professional YouTubers, work with voice coaches, not only as a way to have better sounding audio and have a more quote YouTube-y voice, but also the ability to protect your voice so that you're not hurting your throat by screaming too much into your microphone all the time. I know for me, after a long day of recording and everything, I don't want to talk anymore. My throat is super dry and it's just like hurts from how much I was talking throughout the day. So I really find that I have to balance that out instead of overdoing it, because I actually can hurt myself and then need to take the next day off because it just hurts to talk. Kind of like if you go to a concert or you go to a fair and you're there screaming and running around and yelling with your friends, or you're going to like a party or whatever it might be, hanging out with all your friends, and you're just like realize that you're yelling the entire time, and you wake up the next day and you're like, my voice hurts, or you just like sound different. It's kind of like that if you record all day long a little bit. But in summary, just practice. That's the big part for it. Look at my journey over YouTube of now we've just passed the 8-year mark here on YouTube, and I'm still stumbling over my words. I'm not perfect at it, and I do realize that sometimes when I'm streaming, I tend to get into that like flatter voice, mostly because I'm trying to preserve my voice, so it's more out of that than anything. But yeah, just keep experimenting with it, keep doing what you're doing, and just have fun with it and see what works for you. But make sure whatever you're doing, you're still being like true to yourself and how you make your content. Like, don't try and be something you're not. Not every voice is made to fit every scenario, but there is a scenario for every single voice out there, if that makes sense. Unfortunately, no good loot from our fishing, and we could just throw that in here with all the other junk. Question 3, James Onion 3521. You think you would ever hop on a creative flat world and demonstrate how you build your custom trees? Just a quick one here on the trees, actually in the creative flat world for now. I have actually built some of these on stream. So we went from the entire process. Let me see if I can point a few of them out. I think this one was done on stream. I think one of these was done on stream. Maybe this guy as well. So I'm not sure I'll do a full video just breaking down how to build all these. I think some of these were also done on stream. And I think maybe some of these guys over here too. I can't remember exactly. But if that is something y'all are interested in, want to see more tree building live streams, I would love to do them as like main streams and things and just do all of that building and everything. But full honesty on here, YouTube has moved into such a weird point recently. I know I'm kind of taking away from this question, but with live streams on YouTube, they need to be like a full-on show. Like it has to be like video production quality. So I feel like me just sitting in a creative world, just building trees for an hour and a half, 2 hours might not be the best thing for a stream, but it could work on a Twitch stream. So keep your eyes out for those. I would love to actually do some more because I'm really wanting to get into expanding more of this tree plot world. Upcoming in our new SOS video, I did finally get these. Maybe that video is already out. I can't remember. I'm recording this a little in advance. But I did actually put these trees into the world for a first time, into a Minecraft world, and I really love how they look. So I want to try and envision doing a few more of those, maybe smaller variants, would just slowly step down to younger and younger trees along there. So that could be a fun stream project or something like that. So definitely I would love to share more of this process, but don't expect a full video on it, but they will pop up every now and then in streams. So make sure to tune into the streams and you'll be able to get the full breakdown from empty plot to tree existing on it. Question 4, Blue Dargan 99. Minecraft should give the ability to remove or add biomes by destroying it or having it reach a certain criteria. I'm absolutely heartbroken. Your mountain range is again going to be ruined by swamps. Are you planning on world editing it out like in the OG fWhip world? Now I know Terraria does something really similar to this, which is kind of cool for that game in the 2D space. Honestly, I might have mentioned that in the last video, but thankfully with Minecraft adding in things like moss, I don't know if it's really needed in Minecraft anymore because we have moss and then you have certain leaf types that don't blend based off of biome coloring. So I actually like this lighter, paler, like a colder grass color up here as we move into the mountains. Like that actually I don't hate. I kind of like that one. But when we get into that stuff over there, I think most of what I'm going to be doing for the terrain, because that's kind of already into the point where we're hopefully expanding to very soon, that's probably going to be turned into all moss. I think I'm just going to cover the terrain with moss, or maybe this will be some of those patches of the dirt that we've talked about in the past so that we can kind of play with those different colors and things. The hard part is going to be the leaves that we can use in the area if we want to build any custom trees over the top of it. But maybe that's where we start breaking out a few of those concrete trees and get some orange trees or yellow trees or even red ones we could start designing. Something like that up here that could be really cool. I'm not planning to use world edit anywhere to change any biomes in this world. In the regular survival world that was the OG building with fWhip world, I was more okay with that. But being in hardcore now, that requires going into here, turning on cheats, doing all that. And the amount of people that would then accuse me of breaking so many other things in this game and just completely cheating out everything else, to me, not worth it. Absolutely not worth it to deal with all that flack. I would rather take on the challenge of dealing with all these different biomes back here when we're building this landscape and figure out what solutions we can come up with than dealing with all of the people saying that I'm cheating. I've made it basically 3 years in this world without ever cheating in it. And I already get constant comments from people telling me I've cheated just because, you know, they're just so amazed at what we've been able to do. Their only assumption can possibly be, yeah, he's definitely cheating, when we've done it all legit. And so I don't want to give them any like kindling to put on the fire of being able to accuse me of cheating. So we're just gonna keep on as we're keeping on here and continue doing it all legit. It would be great to world edit and change those biomes, but I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. Not in hardcore. That's a little too much. In the regular survival world that was like long term, we're really just here to build. That's one thing. But when we're here to do all the surviving, aspects of all of it, I feel like that's just crossing a line that I don't really want to get to. And question 5 from Robert Payne: with all that space under, it would be a shame not to do something with it, but you already have a dwarf village, so my idea is to put an advanced civilization under it, like time travelers / aliens that can study your people. And as an added bonus, it could let you play around with a different build style. Speaking of the terrain, we do have so much space down here, which can be turned into something. Whatever that something might be, the dwarf village, I have thought about extending it out here, as we will have so much more space, so we could build like an entire dwarf city in this. We're just endless and endless. I've also thought about revisiting the idea of Gobland and doing something like that. Wait, is that why does that have an enchanting glint on it? Enchanted beehive? Why is this beehive enchanted? I'm sorry. Since when in this game have you broken beehives and they have an enchanting glint on them? Can somebody explain? I have an enchanted beehive in my hand now. I'm so confused. Okay, well, this is gonna go into cursed item storage until we can figure out what the heck's going on with it. But yes, down here, I do want to do something with it. We're going to have some caves that stretch from up in those regions, probably more in the mountains, coming down that'll open these spaces. I've also thought about doing like Blackreach style build zones, which is a zone in Skyrim. Down here, there's also, if you have played Elden Ring, there's that space where you can take that giant elevator down way underground to a cavern that's so massive that feels like you can like look up and basically see stars, but in reality it's just like a lichen growing across the top of the cavern, but it feels so massive. So I've thought about stuff like that. I'm kind of going back and forth on ideas as those things all come up. Nothing I'm going to commit to yet, because I want to actually, make the terrain on top first and then see how much space we actually have down below and what we can work with, more so if I want to work with it or not. So we're going to keep going as we are right now, building on top, but definitely in the future we have all that space down there available to us, which means eventually it'll probably have a build on it, as long as we can make it that far in this world. But that, as we are seeing the rest of this place at nighttime, is going to do it for this comment or question of the day episode. I hope you all did enjoy. Let me know any other comments or questions that you have for the next video, and we'll keep these rocking. Thank you all so much for the support on this and the main channel videos recently. I really do appreciate it. So with that, my friends, I'll catch y'all on the flip side.